everybody, welcome back, or welcome. Good to have you here. My name is Paul Trani with the one and only Ariadne. I'll have you pronounce your last name, if you don't mind.
Remoundakis.
Remoundakis.
But you got the first name really well.
Ariadne. We practiced. That's what I did in the break, is I just practiced her name over and over again. But she has such a cool name, and I'm just so happy that you are here with us.
Thanks, Paul. I'm excited to be here and see what you've been doing. It seems like you've been having a lot of fun with Firefly lately.
I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's fun having you here with your unique perspective, say with type and everything. I don't know if you could explain everybody kind of like what you do at Adobe.
Yes.
And you got to brag about yourself.
I'm the library manager for Adobe Fonts, which means that I work with all of our Foundry partners. We have about 170 partners that design fonts, and we add them to our service. We're constantly adding new fonts every month and expanding that library for all of you. All those fonts are included in your Creative Cloud subscription, so we always want to make sure you're maximizing, all of that value and using those fonts everywhere. And we have an Adobe Fonts show as well. If you haven't seen it yet, we have a live stream every 2 weeks with myself and Ben Welch from the fonts team. So if you're interested in fonts and learning more about them, definitely go to our Adobe Fonts page on Behance. You can watch all the replays and tune into our show too.
Yeah, into it. I just appreciate you, because Ari will send me like some of her new fonts or favorite fonts on occasion. She's like, "Hey, Paul, do you know about this?" Which I think is so cool, and it's just so important to have someone like. I think I will judge you based on your font choice, 100%. I'm sorry. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, I hate to, but like, it is.
You know what I judge them most? When it's not a choice, it's they use whatever was default and they didn't change it. It's like, oh, even if you chose something I don't like, I'll respect that you put some effort.
Yes.
But when you don't put effort, especially if you have fonts available to you, is where I say, like, come on, look into those fonts and see what you have available and check it out. Spend a little more time.
Yeah, that is awesome. We're also going to pick your brain, too, on, like, your favorite fonts. So be ready for that.
I'll be ready.
You already have cool ones, by the way. So, and by the way, we'll just actually, we could just kind of switch.
I was just already on the fonts website. We have 25,000 fonts available in our library.
Yeah, I like that one.
He likes this one. It's called 8. It's just one number, which is, I think, the only family we have that's got one number as the name. But these are the ones that we've featured. They all have a lot of varied styles. Another thing to call out, we launched variable font support in the beginning of this year, so you can check that out. Go to the variable fonts filter and see what you can do with these. You can manipulate things to your heart's content.
Are you guys seeing that? Do it
this.
again.
I can make it wider.
It's not stretching it, right?
It's not stretching it.
Yeah,
no.
How dare you? How dare you?
And then when you bring this into an Adobe app, you have all those controls available to you, so you can really fine tune. So that's something exciting that we have available. And then for the what we call static fonts, the non-variable, we have so many tags and filters for you to narrow down. So
yep.
That's what I'm really passionate about, just showing all the different ways to discover new fonts and never keeping it the same. Always changing and adapting.
Yeah, I love it. And again, I've already activated 8, and we'll switch over to my screen. And Jacob, we might need to refresh the chat. So actually, we'll just do a setup for what we're going to do today, and then you can think about what fonts would be good for this.
Sounds good.
So this is going to be really fun. This is just a quick example, but we're going to make a type collage. This is all about a festival that's happening. It's called Fuse Fest. So it's a fusion of all jazz, hip hop, country, sort of pop. That's what it's all about. So it'll be interesting to sort of kind of create a poster. And I was going to work on the backgrounds, and then if you don't mind, you feel free to find a good sort of fresh font that could go on top of it, kind of like this is what I'm thinking. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Try something like that.
Sounds good.
So that's the plan. We'll work in Firefly. We'll be working with Adobe Fonts, which is super fun. And I'll tell you right now, if I even go to text to image, I'm sure it was one of these that I pulled down. Like, I love this. This is like the mashing together of colors. Like this just has so much excitement to it.
Yeah,
that I could
love it.
totally see.
Feathers, flowers, paint.
Yeah, and it's so cool because it's like, oh, an exploding photon. I wouldn't think of using that word, but it works. It totally, photon.
Who said that?
Music, notes. Let's just try, see what happens. Acrylic, paint, maximalism. Some of these happen to be off to the side, just above me as well. Like, so maximalism is one of the, might be like a movement.
Pre-selected thing.
So this is, you know, it's almost too obvious when you say music. I think it's too on the nose.
This reminds me of like the Creative Cloud marketing from 2012.
Yeah.
Is that
you nailed
resonating with you?
Ah, totally. I like,
and just
good
to
job.
say, now we have the chat updated, so I can say hi to all of you who've joined because we couldn't see you before. Barbara, Bishoy, Stephen. Good to see you all. Kendrick. And let us know if you have any questions as we're going on, and I'll be keeping track.
Yeah, feel free. So
one of those is a little bit scary.
Yeah, it gets a little freaky, and knowing I still want something nebulous. So actually, let's do SURR. I'm just pasting this in.
Whoa.
This is just a shortcut because I've been doing like lots of psychedelic stuff. So this is just a prompt that I have kind of loaded in.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna mash it up with what we have here. Exploding photon. Twisted. Let's do still life because that's where I originally got this from. So this is all part of the experimental phase of you know just kind of brainstorming and seeing what we come up with. We want it to be colorful, like eye-catching, and appeal to a lot of people. We're getting a little psychedelic here. Look at that.
This is cool, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
This one I like.
Okay, let's download it. Let's do it.
It's weird, but I could see it in a psychedelic poster.
Yeah, I could too.
And I know fonts that would go really well with that.
It's definitely the psychedelic aspect, if I used that word right down here.
Yes.
Definitely kind of did a number. And, you know, if you don't like it or whatever, you want different results, you can refresh. And I usually tell people to, like, you know, make some good use of these. So, like I said, maximalism. You know, that's right there. Cyberpunk might get us a spacey. In fact, bioluminescent should be over here as well, which might be kind of fun.
So you mix all of these things together?
Yeah,
wow.
there's
I've never done that.
bioluminescent.
That's kind of extreme.
It is kind of extreme. And I might trim this up a little bit, just so you know. So I'll get rid of psychedelic. I feel like it feels too much like it should be acid jazz or some, you know. So I'm like, where is hip hop represented in this? Maybe it is. I love this. Like, why am I pointing at your screen? I'm so used to pointing at you. But this one right here, like you mentioned, is pretty darn cool. And since you liked it as well, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to do use as reference image. So we like this outline of a person. Mm-hmm. So like, let's just use this reference, and it's still going to use this prompt and generate. Okay. It's going to riff off that reference image and might give us something weird. This is really getting blown out.
Whoa.
So it's getting a little messy. It's getting a little messy. All right,
this is after you've been at the music festival for too long.
You're exactly right.
For the chat, can you think of band names that would use this poster? Yeah. Give us some suggestions.
Thank you for that.
We could do like a poster.
Yeah. While that's generating, and again, we need who's going to be our headliner.
Yeah.
Give us some fictitious, or if you're in a band, like let us know. Maybe we'll
create a promotional poster for you.
We'll do a lot for promotional poster.
You'll be in this fake music festival.
Get it.
It's not working?
No, it is. I'm just so excited about it. I'm like, I'm mad at it. I'm just so excited about it. I'm getting mad at Firefly. It's like, well, you got to be so good.
Quantum Scribble. It sounds like you've been experimenting.
Oh, and Firefly. By the way, that's just a great name. Can we try that?
Quantum Scribble. Oh, we're putting your name
Scribble.
into
Until
the
we
font.
actually get some band names, we're using yours.
Rainbow Floyd.
I love
That's good. Not just pink, the whole rainbow.
Rainbow Floyd. Mix it up. Tame Impala. Do it. Guillermo, is this who you want to headline the music festival? Or are you actually in Tame Impala?
Yeah, because if
'Cause
we have a member of Tame Impala in the chat, then they should be streaming and we should be chatting.
Yeah, we need to know about it for sure. But
Whoa,
I'm just
this is
loving
cool.
this stuff.
Quantum Scribble. Great.
So Quantum Scribble, who knew your name
Yeah.
on YouTube? Oh, love this. So this is what I'm talking about, like sort of a
Oh.
fusion of all these different things. Like it's getting a little weird, but you know, such are music festivals, I guess.
Psycho Explosion. Surreptitious Carnival.
Okay.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So here this is. I usually just like to take these. So like once I have them downloaded, I just select them all and just drop them in here, just like enter.
Okay.
And then what it does is it keeps the file name, and if you notice, the file name has the prompt in it, just for reference.
Yeah.
And then and then just to kind of clean it up for me, sometimes I'll turn this is just my trick, I'll turn this into a smart object, because I want to keep the file name, but I want to have this be the cool background. So that's how I can kind of clean up that's how I'll end up kind of working in Photoshop, FYI. Not that you asked. Is that okay that I just like,
No, thank
hey.
you for telling me because I don't know how to do that.
That's why I'm like, you're the font guru, you are the font master. I actually, and we'll try some different versions, but like even this fat font is not a bad call, considering the background is so crazy. But you tell me, like, yeah, I just need help here. Like, I kind of want you to just, tell me what fonts you like.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
then,
had one that came to me that's very psychedelic. Called
Okay.
Ekman Psych, which I'm showing here. And it has 3 different versions based on how large it's going to be displayed. Like if it would be in a poster, you use the large version because it has more fine detail.
Oh, yes.
And then as the size changes and wherever you're using it, the detail gets less pronounced. But I feel like if you put Ekman Psych on there, even though you're saying like the background is so
No,
crazy,
but this is so good.
It could
I know
really
exactly what we
bring it
need to do with
together.
this. Oh, I'm all for
You
it.
know what we need to do already?
I do,
That's
but
exciting.
I'm often wrong as well. So there is that.
I was also looking like for funky fonts too, because we have that tag. So I was just looking through those too. But
I think what
let's
this is
see.
going to mean, like, so this again, it still need to work on it, but I'm just going to create sort of different iterations of this. Like this is one idea, but then we're going to do sort of idea number 2, which is going to be using this font, which is perfect.
All right, let's see what you're doing.
And I don't, again, just like I probably built it up too much. But I did. I think the hardest thing about fonts is like just remembering the name.
I know.
I'm like, what?
ECK.
Hold on. Got it. All
It has
classes.
There we go.
For
It
every-
activated instantly. Did you notice?
Yeah. I wanted to pause. You have to pause because you don't realize the magic that just happened. Because
Yeah.
I literally just turned that on, and I don't know if people caught that. I went from click to,
Yeah.
click. And come on, like this is super cool. Like I do think this works, by the way.
The biggest problem is not remembering the name because everything else happens. But then, so that's something we've heard, from customers. I experience it. I activate like a bunch of fonts outside of the app and then I forget what they're called. But that's something that we definitely know is an issue and we want to work on.
Yes. I think you're
Wow.
exactly right. So this is just, again, we're just playing with this. If this is large enough, and it's good to think about like where is this going to show up. If it's going to be on Instagram, like something this like totally works.
Yeah.
And it's a good call with this font because it has the same curves as the background. It's like totally works. What I was going to do, sort of my other version, as I make, 15 different versions of this, was to have, like, maybe we take this and then we'll put this text in a quick folder, Command G, and then we'll clip it. So when we clip it, it's going to like be inside. So can we just do something like that? And maybe that's not the right image, but it's just like we're playing with, these sort of things
that looks really
to see
cool.
what we get. And then what I love to do as a designer.
And then if you're creating Instagram content, you could make like 20 of those with all different colors, different images in the background, and post them every week. You have content instantly.
That's a really good point. Because honestly, even as I move this around, and we could do this in Photoshop, but like it should be a little video. Like imagine if this was moving, if we take one, and we could again do that in Photoshop. I'm still working on the background. What I think is also fun, and maybe actually, does the background need to be white?
Let's see.
I think that looks a little better. It gets a little muddy in the center. Like maybe that.
With those more saturated colors, it looks good with the white background.
Okay.
I think
so too. And like, this is where we just, maybe play with this some more. Yeah. I like it when things also break the border. And as I do this is the process. As a designer, you're like, oh, I'll put things inside of the text and I'll go find an image and I'll generate that. But like while we're here, since I want some text with some imagery inside of it, could we just like try to just jump into text effects and try some of that stuff?
Yeah, let's see what that gives us.
Are there font folders?
I think that's in response to not finding the font that you got, so we are working on that quantum. That's something we hear a lot and something we all want. We want to be able to organize our fonts better. So
yeah,
I hear you.
And I just like I'll just go with the word fuse, by the way, just so it's like a little easier for everybody to see.
Bundle of wires. Like you blew a fuse.
Yeah, that's funny. That totally works. So yeah, again, we could do this on white. I just picked something, but I think we need some because this is a fusion of, we'll do, let's try this again, sorry. S-U-R-R. I'm just pasting in that same phrase in here, and we're just gonna see what happens.
I wanna know what a mystical twisted animal is.
Yeah.
Because that's a little interesting.
It's a little weird. This is for a different concept I was working on. Am I going to go to this festival and am I going to be abducted by aliens? But just
that's
so
what I'm thinking.
For context and hopefully just to inspire people, this is where that came from as I was working on this thing.
Oh,
so there was a lot of weird things going on.
Yes.
I don't do drugs, by the way.
Twitter,
you probably think that I'm like, what was in your system, Paul? Probably maybe a lot of caffeine, because I just went nuts. But that's what a surreal twisted monkey, surreal twisted mouse looks like, fish, horse, stuff like that. So that's kind of where that came from. And that's why this mystical that doesn't work. Let's do mystical galaxy.
Let's see.
So sorry about that. That got gross. I think it got awesome. It was really cool looking and blew me away. Psychedelic
cool.
Furries. There we go, Dharma.
That's a good band name for this.
It's still a little too organic for me.
It's under the sea, I think. There's
Maybe
some
under the
kind of coral
there's some sort
seaweed
of
thing going on.
It has an organic look, which I don't want. I want it you shouldn't be able to touch it. Like music, you can't touch it, and that's what I think where we need to push this.
So deep.
Yeah, we can.
You can feel music, but you can't touch it.
Yeah, you can't unless you. Again, I don't know what you're taking at those festivals. Maybe you are touching music. It's just a tree, man. It's a tree.
Okay.
Surreal Being is in there. Mystical creatures. Boy,
Yeah,
I
we
was
don't
like,
want creatures.
welcome to most prompts that don't make any sense, that repeat themselves, and all that good stuff.
Okay, this is like the Rainbow Floyd band name that was suggested earlier.
Well, yeah. And so I'm gonna do this too. It's like we'll just keep the font as being just a fat font, so we could put lots of things in it. And then we'll do loose, which should kind of have this like spill outside of the confines of the letter. So that's where we get that fun stuff.
Ooh.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, the F is cool.
Yeah, the F is very, very cool. So I'm gonna download this real fast. I do need to get just like something in Photoshop, so I'll do this with Fuse. And this is how I'll usually work anyways, is do the, because I like currently only have like sort of one resolution. It should be like around 2,000 pixels, if you will. So I do short words, get high resolution, download it, composite it.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me do this real fast. OUTLINNOINEE. Here's another short. Again, I'm just pasting this in because I like shortcuts because I can't remember anything. So essentially, this is the outline strength.
Oh.
This is 100%. This is 50%. This is 0%. But what if you want something in between that? Well, there's this little shortcut just for you guys, since you guys are hanging out with us. Here we could do like, say, 25. It's actually, technically, it's 75%. So the strength's at 0. It should be like 100%. But nonetheless, you can get that dialed in just by using like this prompt. But it sounded like you responded to the little swirls spilling out.
Yeah, I like that. Especially if you can edit like the thing coming out of the S at the top.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit, but if you can just tweak it a little bit,
yeah,
it's cool.
And what you do get these little thumbnails, just like for text to image, you have 4 thumbnails. This is the equivalent of like 4 different versions. But yeah, maybe this is working. I don't know if I don't know where. Can you try Firefly? I'll just tell you out.
Yes.
Okay. So just like I was thinking,
Let me navigate.
Give her a second to log in, but I'm like, I'm having all the fun, not to put you on the spot. But to some degree, you're like, oh, help me, help this man.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, color. And just to even get started, as Ari gets logged in, like I'm doing color marble right here. Again, a good place to start to get this like fun stuff. And again, I just think of multicolor to get that fusion of colors.
Yeah. Ben says, love it. Hey, Ben. Hope you're enjoying.
Oh, yeah.
I tried Mystical Paint Explosion.
Ooh.
You can see.
Yeah,
you
can
put
we
my
switch to
screen
Ari's screen?
It's more explosive. And I tried Cooper Black just to see what would happen. What if we try this one?
Tell me your thoughts on, like, I think sans serifs are so popular, like they've just been like all everybody's been using. Are you just ready to use some serifs or what? Or maybe you tell me what you think, sans serif versus serif.
Everything has its place. There's no type of font that I would say, oh, stop using this. It just depends, like, what application you're using, you know, what intent you have. But yes, everything like moved to the geometric sans serif, and there has been a backlash of the trend of, you know, the brand Chobani yogurt.
Yes.
And the font that was used for that branding. That kind of, it's like Cooper Black, that kind of more vintage serif soft thing.
Is this what it was?
Yes.
Does that look right?
So that's what it was. So it used to look like this, and then they changed it to this.
Yeah.
So there has been, this is one of the main trends that has come up in the last couple of years, type trends of moving away from that sans serif, bringing in that more friendly, soft serif. And there have been a lot of fonts that have come out, like this logo, that we have a ton of as well. Like, I have to think of one off the top of my head to show you an example, but I will. But that's what I would say when you say like, oh, everything has gone to, everything's gone to sans serif. Okay, here, decoy, for example. This kind of thing, like, this is really trendy right now, where it has more character, but it's still, like, for branding, it's considered very friendly, approachable, modern. So
yeah, I'm all for it. It's just such a sigh of relief. I'm just like so.
No more bland sans.
Yeah, thoroughly agree. I've just been enjoying fonts more that we're kind of breaking out of just the sans serif everywhere. And there's a time and place for it, just like you said. I'm going to be using sans serif, and so since this is Fuse Fest and you're going to have like country and hip hop and metal, I'm using the same word and just typing different things in there. So I'm using driftwood right now, so I'm like, or wood paneling. I don't know, just like I'm thinking of the country version. Dirt, wood paneling. Not even wood paneling. What would it be? Like, I already have driftwood in there, but cedar. I don't even
just
know.
all types of wood.
Yeah, but
leather.
Ooh, leather. We'll just see what we
like
get. It
a
could be
cowboy
ridiculous,
kind of thing.
but that's the goal. Bland sans.
And
Bland,
nothing against
you call
the
it
bland sans.
bland serif. Bland serif.
Nothing against any bland sans. It's
this
just
is
like,
much-
don't use it for everything.
Yes.
Ooh.
This is like, again, just kind of like your, and what did I just think of? I was like, oh, your country, like bluegrass. Like literally use
bluegrass.
the word, bluegrass in here.
I don't see
And
any
we'll
bluegrass.
elevate it because I got like 5 other words just like taking over. But like, yeah, I have an idea for bringing this all together. So there's our bluegrass. Yeah, Dharma, I agree. I like the driftwood, and I really like playing with the, the outlines and really getting something unique. So that being said, we'll take a look. Because here's again, there's that one, and then we'll go back to all these new ones that we've downloaded. Fuse Fest.
What happens if it has that watermark when you download it?
Yeah, and that's totally fair. That's what we want. Like, I'm just gonna.
Whoa! You went through all of them.
I just dropped them all in. I'll
Cool.
convert these all to a smart object. Like, I get it. And somebody said in the last stream, they're like, "Oh, how dare you remove that watermark?" I know this is not for commercial use. Like, this is for fun use.
We're checking things out.
And
here.
but I appreciate every time somebody says that. They're like, "Oh, Paul, you just removed that watermark."
I was just
love
checking. You're
people
gonna
like
remove
that.
it, right?
Yeah. Well, and this is what I would do, and this is what I'd actually encourage everybody to do as soon as I. Hold on one sec. There we go. That's what I needed. Invert. You could like I would just like take this, copy it, and then like put it on a layer above everything else. So like this might be my final published version. Like I would put this like watermark like right down there on its own layer. So that's there. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to play with this.
All right.
As I go through this. This isn't how it's supposed to look, so you're just going to have to bear with me as I play with it some more. I have this set up correctly, and I'm excited to... And yeah, you keep generating. This is... Okay. This is fun. I love
don't like
it.
what's happening right now. I tried to do like a city streets, but it didn't look like city streets. But then I was thinking like I should think of something more specific. Oh, that does kind of. It looks like an abandoned city. If anyone's seen Ready Player One,
Okay.
The movie, How They Live, it looks like.
Looks like just people living in like a shanty town on top of shanty town or something. But it still has a little bit of a futuristic look.
Very futuristic. Hey, Margaret. Glad you're enjoying it.
I am just doing a thing here. I'm just...
Oh, you're fusing the different ones together.
Oh, yeah. So I have sort of the driftwood. So that's all just driftwood. So this is our country.
People are saying that tea is so nice. Which tea?
I know. I don't know. This is acid jazz. And that's also bluegrass.
Whoa. Look at all these people celebrating in my letters.
Oh, holy cow. Ah.
They're having a great
What?
time.
So you will, I like this. This already says party to me. There's something
It's a
about
big
just
party.
adding a human element that just seems much more fun. Like, I really
And Margaret
like it.
says, I love how they exceed the outline. Yeah, like we were talking about before. It always makes a bigger impact when something jumps off of the outline.
Yeah.
So that looks cool. Dharma, this is the second time today I've heard the term acid jazz.
Oh,
what were
really?
you doing today?
What were we? Was that us earlier? Could have been. I would
Was
not
it
put
Paul?
it past us. I'm always going
Talking
on and on about acid jazz.
Should I
Nice.
put acid jazz in here and see what happens?
Do it.
What's gonna happen? Ooh,
See?
kind of like what I expected.
So, Ari, I know you work on the font team and everything, but like, do you consider yourself like you're the designer? You like, what do you like? Where do you fall in the whole?
No. Well, in my spare time, I do some graphic design, but in my job, I'm not a designer at all. I work on business partnerships. So this is the fun part of my job, where I
And
can
it's
just
so
be
fun.
creative.
See, that's what's so cool about like, yes, you could do it, but just like the fact that this is what I think is interesting because like you at least you have a design eye. I think this is looking super cool.
It does look cool.
I just think it looks,
downloading
and it makes me want to steal it. So acid, we're teammates, right? I can take your stuff.
Yeah, it's not
gonna
for
just, like,
commercial use. We're
Not
just
for commercial use.
hanging out.
But thank you for inspiring me, and keep it coming as well. Like as you think of things to say, we also wanted some band names, but if you know, we'll throw anything at this, just to you know.
Rainbow Floyd was my favorite band
Rainbow
name.
Floyd was good. I think a rainbow might be in order. I'd like I'm gonna try some like holographic origami.
Holographic origami.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And just see. Okay, we'll get some pointy
I'm
parts.
gonna add holographic to mine. Now you inspired me.
Yeah, you get like I feel like I'm getting some purples, teals, and pinks.
Whoa, this is my screen now.
Yeah.
This is kind of a Lisa Frank. Did anyone have Lisa Frank stationery at some point?
I
like
think-
if a dolphin was jumping through,
Yeah.
then it would be Lisa Frank.
I love how colorful it is. That was my inspiration for the surrealistic thing I showed you earlier. I was
Yeah.
like, Hieronymus Bosch meets Lisa Frank, or like
It
Dolly versus.
happened.
Ah!
Whoa.
And this is okay. So there are some repeats you see with S's.
Yes, there are.
So I would download one image and
And
then I would
redo it.
and then just you could pick another one and then download it again and then you kind of mix it up.
Yeah, because then if you click on the other option, then it'll give you different configurations of everything. Oh, I love this.
you looked up Sia. Sia started in an acid jazz band. I feel like an acid jazz band would really allow you to show off your vocals. Maybe. You know, if it's like acid jazz and you're just kind of singing along.
Maybe Fuse Fest has a cruise, Fuse Cruise, and then we can use this.
I like it.
It's a music festival on a cruise ship. Who's going? I got a 3-day pass.
Who's in? Let us know.
I will be there. I'm downloading that. I need to have this for future. For something. I'll use it for something.
You never know. It'll come in handy.
Yeah, so what are you doing now? You brought that holographic stuff
you don't mind
over.
Switching on over. So this is kind of where this has ended up, and I'm again, my screen's I guess on the just above me. But so I'm starting to, and again, took some hints from you. That those are these files, kind of based on your inspiration. We will drop these in. There is a lot going on. It should have made it the same size. And it's getting kind of freaky here. Bear with me. Let's just hit enter a couple times. But I'm basically just, I could have actually just entered it. I don't know which letter I want to be which. So that's why I did this. And then we just like capture the F here and, mask it. So now we have ... right? You start to see what's happening here. And let's just go ahead and throw down a solid color in here just so we can see everything a little bit better.
Margaret said there's a joy in creating it even though it's the AI creating it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's what you, maybe it's like 100 or 1,000 times faster than if you were to create it yourself. So it's like, this is what I envision. Do it. And we couldn't do that before. So
go do it. Do it, computer. I don't care like how crazy my prompt is. Just go ahead and make something. I also need another phrase for, so actually let me go back to my Photoshop file because that's where I have all of the rock pop. My pop is kind of the, I guess the kind of the colorful origami type holographic stuff.
Okay.
You know what we need? We need
Rock,
more like
pop.
K-pop. I want like
K-pop.
more like I don't know, kind of like the Taylor Swift type. What do you think?
Yes.
I don't know how. I don't know what.
Sparkly.
Sparkly.
Look at how sparkly mine is. I'm going to take the dolphin out of this because we've had enough sea creatures. Let's see, mystical black, starry, holographic, sparkle. Sparkle, maybe pink. Ooh,
Pastels.
look at this.
Pastels.
I like this. The R got all changed.
Oh, interesting.
Very
Is that
interesting.
Is that the font? Poplar is kind of like has that R?
The,
or what
no.
are you saying?
No, it's just the image. It does kind
okay.
of, but the image distorted it a little bit. But it looks even
that's
more
I
now.
can see what's happening, and I actually kind of like it more there.
Yeah,
I just
this
like
is
it being
really
a
cool.
little bit unique. I mean, as a designer, I wouldn't go weird on the R. I would go weird on the U or maybe the I.
Just
Easily
for
recognize
readability.
because like the R, you mess with it too much, it's going to look like a P. You can mess
Yes.
with the U a little bit more.
A U can be changed a lot. The R is very critical for reading. But does this look more like what you're thinking, like poppy? Maybe if I turn this to pink.
Yeah, I'm trying a couple things. Somebody does, what do they say? Wrap is sandwich wraps. So that's fun. That's fun. It's like playful.
Pop is like soda pop.
Yeah. I like that optimistic, like, you know, you can listen to it with your parents around. No big deal.
Yeah. So pop is sparkling water.
Ooh, yes.
Pink, starry, holographic, sparkling water. Let's see what happens.
I tried some of the sparkles and oh, geez, dang it. It worked out okay for me.
Whoa. This looks like nail polish.
Oh yeah, that's like definitely like that's bubblegum nail polish, or that's
Ooh,
like
bubble gum. That's
it
good
was-
for pop.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I was. I just really kind of like just needed an S. So let's go back. Let's fix this.
Okay,
make it
let's
happen.
see what Paul's doing
Yeah, if you don't
now.
mind switching over. So still the same sort of concept. Taking these letters. Let's scale this up. I would even do something like at an angle, like and just play with it a little bit more too. Just FYI, but. You know,
Janelle
the U
says-
and the E are too close now. They're almost,
Yeah.
they're using the same, but that's why I set this up the way I did in Photoshop, just so I can jump in and I need to swap out the U and the E. So where's my U? Gata. It's right here. So let's just turn that off. I like this. Do you see the barbed wire one?
Yeah,
I made that one.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. It is scary. And let's do. Bring it. There we go. So
Ooh.
just
so is
try
that,
it.
like,
Just playing
heavy
around.
Metal?
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah.
Should have made the resolution a little higher, but you know.
But we get the idea.
Yeah.
And then you can.
And still, this is like collage number 3 or 4 out of all of them. We're just kind of pushing this to its limits. So
Yeah.
what are we learning from all this? Just even as a designer, and I think it's important. Like, what is my role as a designer if AI is doing all this stuff? Like, where do I fit in the grand scheme of things? You know.
Do you
and
have
I-
an answer?
I mean, I do. I always have an opinion. Again, you know, I don't know if it's right, but you know what? It's all good.
I think you have a big role.
Well, yeah, exactly. And this is
You're-
where I
no
think
one's being replaced.
this
Like,
is where I
look
think
what
it's
he's
coming
doing.
in. Like, so we'll get rid of this one, but like we have these free 3. Let's just tile these a little easier for us to see like that. This is where we come in as a designer, like making all these. We just got like promoted to art director because we have to figure out like which one of these is working. Like what direction do we head, or do we make a version 4? You know, and I don't know like.
What does the
What-
chat think? Where are you moving towards? Obviously, we could keep. These are made in 1 minute, so we could keep working on each of them. I think the one on the left, with all the different letters, maybe some of them aren't as busy. Like, there's so
Yeah.
much going on. Like, I would like that direction if we could tone it down or have maybe just the F's have an effect or something like that. Like, we could explore that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
The middle one
And I think
is amazing.
the middle one is amazing. You know what? The middle one doesn't adhere to trends or just kind of what's happened. Like this one again seems dated to me. If I could point the right, like
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm kind of over the sans serif. I think the middle one has like the most personality. I personally think the image and the background. This is what I think we need. I think since you like that font, let's go with the middle one, but let's generate different backgrounds. Because since this is
Yeah.
all about creating all these different genres,
Yeah.
can we play with textures back there, but still keep the branding? Because I think we lose the branding. It doesn't have any branding. It's just boring sans serif on the left hand side.
Yeah.
So maybe this one with some more interesting
Let's
backgrounds.
do
We do
it.
bluegrass and do all that fun stuff.
And without the guy sticking his tongue out. Maybe his
This
face
is for
isn't-
this is for the acid jazz, and that's what we'll start doing. We'll take all this group. Here's our acid jazz
Yeah. Let's see what
version.
people are saying.
Do you guys agree, by the way? Like, let us know. Middle one reminds me of the 1960s. Totally cool. But it has the branding there, and now we get to have some fun.
Middle or right? Middle is best. Love the middle. All right.
Let's do like, you know, sort of like Heart of Dixie, like country style.
I love this. Hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah. This is this is like a Bon Iver type album cover sort of thing. I don't know. But let's do like daylight, light. I want something a little bit more. I like expressionist.
Field. I'm trying to think of
field.
Like
let's
country,
open it up.
Like a farm field.
Field with mountains, majestic and.
Yes. This is really expanding my vocabulary.
I know.
How did you think of all these words?
Oh, because I've just been doing some of this like prompting lately.
You've been prompting constantly.
Way too bright. I'll tell you right now. No.
I always do muted colors.
Yes, and that's like the nice thing is because you're like, how do you remember? Like some of that. So there is muted color over here. Lighting we can do dramatic just for fun, or maybe golden hour. I don't know. We'll play with it.
Yeah.
Let's do wide angle, and let's do like some people will do
hyper realist.
That might even be over here too. By the way, I think it is.
Okay.
Let's get rid of daylight in the forest and just expressionist, farm, field. Ooh, let's do long dusty road sort of thing.
Yes.
Field with.
Janelle says wildflower field.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
that
fun.
would be nice too.
Mountains in the background. Majestic, hyper realistic. We'll see what happens. Wildflower field. Great. Oh, you know what I think would be good too, now that you mentioned that, is so this kind of gets us places.
That looks really good.
Okay, good.
And I think it has enough lines and shapes that when it's masked in the letters, it'll show. And
I might not even put it, I was like, it might even just be in the background.
Yeah.
But to your point, yeah, like, we don't want anything too complex, and I have another trick for getting around that as well. So we'll definitely drop this in. Boom. So again, sort of our more country bluegrass. I love the idea of the wildflower field, and then we'll try to do shallow depth of field, so if we can get some blurriness in there.
Oh.
That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Let's do that. Wild field. Let's do maybe I won't do that right now. We'll just see where we're at. And this is typically good for prompting. Start small. Keep it basic, and then start adding to it. Mm-hmm. I think I made the mistake earlier because I pasted in that long prompt, so I didn't know what was doing what. It's like I should have just started simple.
Is it because I said explosion that there's stars, or is it because I said starry?
Yes.
Psychedelic.
Yeah, all of that.
This is beautiful.
That's right. This is looking good,
wow.
huh?
Good job, Janelle.
So
good suggestion.
Janelle. Love it.
I want to be there right now.
Wouldn't that be nice? I would just I would just start playing country if I.
It definitely inspires you to
start singing.
Listen to that music.
This is the festival I want to go to.
Yes.
Personally, right?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, let's do another one where it's like a starry night out in the field.
Okay.
Right?
Make this.
We're setting
night.
a tone. Yeah, exactly. Make field.
And we only have a few minutes left.
Mountains and stars in the background.
Sam says, I want to go to this wildflower field. I feel like that should be a song.
I want to go
It's called Wildflower Field.
Yeah, Sam. Good call. I want to go to the wildflower field is the name of their big hit.
Where
this
the
is
sky
getting
is
fun.
dark, but the smell is sweet.
So poetic. We're just we got lyrics. I think that would be fun, by the way. Imagine taking a song that you like and taking lyrics and pasting it in here to see what you get.
Yes.
right?
Then
Or
you can
even
see the
anything.
song.
Like somebody mentioned Tame Impala. What's Tame Impala? Let's type it in, see what we get.
Right.
But I totally think this is the vibe we're going for, like this magical, like outdoor space. But like I said, you start maybe seeing music kind of spill out. So that's where
Yeah.
I'd start to, do you add some bursts like we had earlier, some sort of something like that. And again, I know we're running out of time, but heck, that's never stopped me before.
Margaret mentioned Miley Cyrus. She has that song Flowers. So her album cover could use that image. For
Ooh,
sure.
yes, flowers. I'm looking for like a burst of like that's too much.
Marcy said Woodstock. Yeah, it definitely has a Woodstock feel. Kind of vintage 60s hippie feeling.
Oh, look at that. You'll always get a little weirdness because like this is Smash Damage Broken Instruments, but like this is also like kind of cool. Again, we didn't
For like
hit,
the rock.
Yeah, we didn't quite hit the Smash Damage Broken Instruments, bar wire, bent metal, swirls of black and white. I don't know.
Scary.
I know.
What
It's,
happened?
turned
Why did
dark.
anyone do this?
Yeah, what? We were in such a nice place.
We
went
were in the
dark.
wildflower field.
And then you're smashing guitars.
Yeah. Oh.
But still,
If
kinda
you kind of toned down the opacity of this or made it even darker, it would look really cool.
I agree. Let's jump back.
In the last minute, we're gonna
Get there. Hurry. There's no time. Get vibrant colors. So we could always, like this explosion is fun.
Yes.
So we could
You
always
always need an explosion.
You can never have too many explosions. So let's take those, get it in here. Hope you guys do want to go to our little festival that we're gonna be starting. Isn't it nice that the weather's getting better and you're like, are you just ready for like a music festival or maybe
I was
something
last
like that?
week and then it rained.
Oh, darn. This
But
is
I am.
This is good, a little bit generic, but again, we'll just like, do we play with? I'm just playing with things at this point.
Yeah, you could do so much with this.
Yeah, but sounds like this was like more of the winner, like kind of these seem to set the tone for the festival.
Yes, this one I think is my favorite.
But I think even for this project, we're promoting this. We developed the branding, which is the word mark. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then we just have this.
What
like,
if you
whatever else.
reverse the field to be in the letters and then it's
Let's
white?
do that. Okay.
I just want to see what happens.
Okay. Whatever you want. Let's go.
Because I have
Hurry.
Paul who can do everything
Hurry
in
up.
1 second. So
No.
I'm like, do it now.
I just like starting things at the very last minute.
Ooh.
So I would take this, like,
like
it would be fun to, I don't know, do you play with it like a little bit? I don't know. I love the stars.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's cool.
Yes, I love this.
Okay, yeah.
So
I do
who's
too.
coming? Tickets are going to be on sale next week, but you have to log in right on time because they'll sell out immediately.
That's right. We're limited, and even though we have, it's going to be taken. Oh yeah. Oh, do this. Look at this. Come on now. Like we layer this. Oh yeah, right. And like play with it.
Oh, this
Sorry.
would be awesome.
But like, ugh.
Put the really dark part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of that fun stuff.
There's so many possibilities.
There we There's we're getting.
This was so fun.
So fun
Passes
having you.
so fast.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Again, being like a designer and making these important choices like with the font and everything is like huge, right?
Yeah,
And then
but, you know,
the easiest for the-
experimentation. That's
Experiment.
how you learn and you find new things that work. So
Yeah.
keep experimenting
Yeah.
and keep playing around with things and
Yeah.
use more fonts.
Yeah,
Watch
use
the
more
Adobe
fonts.
Fonts show. and
Mash
learn more.
things up. Like we want to see some things on Discord too. So again, firefly.adobe.com, as it says right there. Like, get involved, and then we'd love to see your stuff there as well. And we'd love to see you at our festival that we just started, right?
Yes.
Yay, go team! High five!
See you at Fuse Fest.
Yay, see you there.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Ari. Thank you, everyone.